Hello and welcome back to Game of Trades, your #1 channel for videos on the stock market and cryptocurrencies. This video is going to be focused on Bitcoin. It's been a while since I haven't made a crypto video, so we're going to be making a full overview of the price action, what's happening with the technical picture, are we seeing breakdowns in the price structure. We're also going to briefly talk about whether the long-term outlook for Bitcoin has changed. Now, if you are new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button because we make these videos multiple times a week focusing on the stock market, on cryptocurrencies, and how to navigate these markets successfully. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so I want to begin by taking a look at this longer term chart of Bitcoin, right? This is something that we've taken a look at in a few of our videos recently. This is the #1 channel to be looking at on Bitcoin. There is no other channel that is this well respected on the long-term time frame. It is crazy how well this trend line works. Look at these reactions, timing the bottoms of these moves perfectly, and how each reaction from the bear market in 2018 led to reactions much more recently, including the top of this move here in 2017 that timed the top of this move right here in 2021 perfectly. It was on the penny. If you had these lines drawn, you could have timed that top perfectly. Now, I also believe that it's healthy to take a look at the longer term price chart on Bitcoin. It puts things in perspective. Things can look very, very red when you're looking at the past few months of trading, but over the long term, the trend is still unbelievably bullish. Now, if we jump to a daily chart to take a look at what's happening right here, a lot of people are talking about the fact that there's no support just under the 30K level. And that's just not true. If you're looking at this price channel, you can see I've highlighted two trend lines here, and these are pretty big levels. If you go back to the 2017 bull run and then bear market, you have these reactions here. If we zoom in a little bit more, you can see these are respected levels, right? Price trades within these lines and systematically reacts to these levels. Same thing here. Breakout, rejection, retest, resumption off that line, then breakdown, backtest. Again, so many reactions off this trend line if you zoom in to that daily chart. And of course, in 2019, that time the top of this run perfectly. So again, a valid level to be watching here. And if we fast forward to 2021, you can see we're hovering above these trend lines here. So these are strong levels of support. This line timed the bottom of this panic move, and this line timed the bottom of this second undercut of that low. So these are trend lines to be watching. We're currently testing that line here. And if you're looking for a breakdown of the price structure of Bitcoin, you want to take a look at the weekly closes. If we begin to sell off here and we close the week below this zone of support here, then the next big level to watch for is at around 24K. So breakdown of this zone here would trigger another sell-off down to 24K. That's definitely not our preferred scenario right now. And I am going to talk about what our preferred scenario is. But you do need to be prepared for anything. And this chart gives you an idea of where support and resistance is and does give you a huge edge over other investors and other traders. If we begin to see a breakdown here, a lot of traders, a lot of investors will be looking for an area to buy the dip. And if you're just trading off horizontal levels, the next big level to watch out for is at around 20K. I think that's a very, very low probability scenario. I think the worst case scenario for Bitcoin right now would be another move down to 24K and then a big significant bottom here. But that would leave a lot of investors, a lot of traders hanging for those who wanted to buy the dip at 20K. By the way, if you enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button as hard as you can. It helps us so much push these videos out to more people and help widen our audience and teach technical analysis and market navigation to more people. Now, also before I continue, I strongly recommend that you make your own research before trading and investing. Nothing is 100% in the markets. And also, if you have any comments, if you don't agree, or if you want to let us know something that you liked about the videos, make sure to comment down below. We do read all the comments and we try to take them into account as much as possible for future videos. Now, is Bitcoin still an asset that you actually want to have in your portfolio? Does the recent volatility change anything about the fundamental bullish case for Bitcoin? And the answer is quite simple. Absolutely nothing has changed for the bullish case on Bitcoin since this top right here, or since this low here, where we started to talk about Bitcoin to our members on gameoftrades.net. The entire macro picture right now is extremely favorable to storeholds of wealth. We're coming to the end of a monetary cycle here, a long-term monetary cycle with a huge amount of debt in developed countries that's putting a lot of deflationary pressures on the economy. And history shows, if you go back over the past few hundred years, that type of macro environment creates a lot of price instability. I do believe that it's going to be very, very difficult to protect wealth over the next few years. It's going to be a rough ride ahead. And so storeholds of wealth are going to outperform. And Bitcoin remains the perfect combination between innovation, which always has the upper hand in terms of investment opportunity, and storehold of wealth and wealth protection. So for us, Bitcoin remains the perfect asset if you are willing to endure volatility, if you are willing to endure drawdowns. I'm going to be posting today on our website a full overview of Bitcoin's price action over the past year, exactly what events have transpired, what impact that has on price, and also a detailed look at the long-term outlook for Bitcoin. Now, we also posted a similar article for precious metals, taking a look at the long-term investment case for precious metals, looking at money velocity, looking at debt, and potential reactions to that macro situation. So if you're interested in these articles and our convictions for long-term investing, wealth protection, wealth appreciation, make sure to go and check out our website at gameoftrades.net. We have a lot more information, research, and education coming up over the next few weeks. But now let's get back to the short-term picture on Bitcoin, right? So this is the 8-hour chart. So we're not looking at that longer term outlook anymore. And here I've drawn a bearish price channel, right? A channel that's going down. So when you're looking at the long-term chart, the trend is up. But of course, over the past few weeks, the trend has been bearish. Now, the most recent development that we had on Bitcoin here were these two lows. Throughout this entire period, our convictions for a rally were low because in most cases, right, except for the stock market where you have monetary policy manipulation that impacts price in a big way, in a normal, healthy market, when you have a large move down like this, in most cases, price will come back and retest that low, if not even undercut that low. So that's exactly what happened here. We have a lower low here, and we have the RSI here. That's a momentum indicator. It's a good measure of the momentum of price. And you can see we have divergence between the price that's going down, the momentum that's going up. And so that's generally a bullish development. It's telling you that price has gone too far ahead of itself compared to momentum, and that usually leads to a correction in price, so a counter trend rally, or a correction in time. And we had a very similar setup right here at the very top. You had a high, a higher high, and if we jump to a daily chart, it's going to be a little bit clearer. Here you can see the divergence a lot more clearly between price and the RSI. And right here, a very, very similar setup at the very top, right? So it works both ways. You had this nice uptrend line here. You had price making high, higher high, another higher high, with the RSI going down each time. And that led to a very significant top. So could we see something very similar, right? With a low, a lower low, maybe another lower low before eventually making a significant bottom that's possible. It's very difficult to say whether these divergences are going to extend to the downside and lead to a significant bottom later on, or whether we've already seen the bottom here and we're set to rally. But in either case, these are good developments for Bitcoins if you are patient. It's a sign that trend may be about to change. So that's the short-term outlook for Bitcoin. Although if you're a Bitcoin investor, I strongly recommend that you don't follow the day-to-day price action because the volatility can shake you out if you're overinvested in Bitcoin. All right, now that's about all I wanted to cover in this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, in the meantime, good luck on your trading and see you next time.